What's up, everybody? My name is Godzi, and welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry Questions Arc. Last 3 episodes, I guess. That was a long train ride. But we finally got off at the station of a little bit of reasoning and also a lot of sadness, because Jessica and George decided it'd be a good idea to fight Ronave and Gap, and they died. Go figure. Also, our good friends in the cell, Kraus, Nanjo, Kyrie, Shannon, and Cannon, they all escaped, then they died. But no one's labeled as dead yet, because no corpse has technically been discovered. Which makes me think, does Battler have to find the corpse for it to count as them dying? But in the second game, I distinctly remember when Nanjo and Kumasawa died. The only people in the room at the time were Genji, Shannon, and Goda, and also Demon Cannon, but he doesn't matter. And they died, and they were dead. It said, like, Genji sees their bodies, he sees their dead bodies, they count as dead bodies, but not when, like, Natsuhi died did anyone go, like, oh, that's a dead body, she's dead, which makes me think, does anyone really know anyone's dying? Because in the second game, yet again, Genji, Shannon, Goda, they saw Kumasawa and Nanjo die. In the third game, Rudolph, Kirei, and Hideyoshi, they were all discovered, actually. Never mind. What's a situation where people saw someone else die before their eyes that wasn't in the fourth game? Like, first game, there was the first Twilight, second Twilight happened out of view. Yeah, like, Cannon died right before Nanjo's eyes in the first game, and, some other stuff. Second game, Chapel, Jessica and Cannon. Jessica died, like, during that whole thing, didn't she? No, she wasn't counted as dead until they found her body, never mind. But then, yeah, there was those two, and then the 3 in Natsuhi's room, which they didn't do. Well, I have at least 2 situations there where it counts. Either way, just a I also find it bullshit that the murders are done. Kumasawa and Goda, no way they survived. Of all people. Like, I'm gonna be mad, obviously. I just doubt that they're alive. Which would mean the only people left are Kinzo, Battler, and Maria. So, that'd be weird. Whatever, let's continue. I don't know why you're mad, Battler. You don't? Everyone was killed by that damn geezer. Who was saying something crazy about Beatrice's resurrection ceremony or whatever. So by now, 13 people have been offered as sacrifices. And it's already time for Beatrice to revive, right? Sure, that sounds great. I'll find Beatrice too and kill them both. We've survived the ceremony, so we'll receive an invitation to the Golden Land from Beatrice. Over there, all wishes will be granted. If having your family killed is painful, then you just have to resurrect them. That's what I plan to do. I revived a really nice real mama, the one that isn't possessed by the Black Witch. So mama will always be with me. There won't be any more overtime or working on days off. She'll always be with me, and think only of me. And she'll always fight against fearsome enemies for my sake. There's something wrong with you. Whoa! What was your first clue, Battler? Why are you saying something so incomprehensible in a situation like this? Didn't Kyrie just tell you, Battler? Didn't she tell you to believe in the witch? Fuck. This is no time to get in an argument with you over something like this. Now there are no hostages or anyone left alive. This weird, shitty ceremony game is already over. Let me do what I want now. Someone might still be alive, or someone might be hiding. I'll search everywhere, find them, and beat the shit out of them. In a rage, Battler grabbed his hat stand spear and flew out of the room. Maria watched him go, looking bored. Oh shit. Even though Beatrice will grant our wishes soon anyway. Stupid Battler. At that time, the phone rang out again. Uh-oh. Maria stood up and grabbed the receiver. Ew. Hello? Yeah? What? Of course, the sound of the phone also reached Batwer's ears as he was about to dash out of the house. With a violent forcefulness, he turned around and dashed into the cousin's room. Maria! Who was the phone call from? Oh shit. This kind of music. With a terrifying look on his face, Batwer yelled at Maria, who was on the phone. He couldn't blame him. Right now, the only humans left alive on the island were himself, Maria, Goda, and Kumasawa. But there was no way those two could call after being locked up in the gardening storehouse. So Kinzo. Which meant there was only one person left. It had to be Kinzo. After continuing her pleasant chat with the person on the other end of the phone for a while, Maria slowly turned to face Batwer. Then, with an unsettling expression on her face, she laughed. It felt almost as though the person on the other end of the line was chatting about Batwer. Maria? Who's on the phone? Grandfather? Batwer couldn't imagine that this was the case. After all, it was inconceivable that Maria would talk intimately with Kinzo, and that she would be chatting about Batwer with that eerie smile on her face. So, just what kind of person could be on the phone who could make Maria chat with a smile like that? Oh yeah, Beatrice, sure. At that time, in the back of his mind, the words Kirei had spoken to him drifted up. If a witch does appear, there's no need to doubt it. Just believe that it exists. Yeah, Batwer just came back. He sure is jumpy. Maria, who's on the phone? Who? Hand it over? Sure. Here, Batwer. After getting the consent of the person on the other end, she held the receiver out to Batwer. Here. Maria held the receiver out for him to take, as though it was perfectly normal. Batwer hesitated just a little bit before taking the receiver. After all, by accepting the existence of the person at the other end, he'd have no choice but to acknowledge them. As Kirei said, there was no longer any need to doubt that they exist. Big doubt. Batwer took the receiver. As he did, Maria briskly left the room. Oh shit. Batwer, who was a bit scared to find out for sure who was at the other end of the receiver, questioned Maria before taking the call. Hey, where's you going? To where my test is. Wonder who the next Ushiromiya family head will be. Batwer or me? Don't go. You'll be killed. I won't be killed. The ceremony's already over. And even if I'm killed, I'll be revived. Whether one of us becomes the head or not, we've already been invited to the Golden Land. See ya. Wait, Maria! Batwer stretched his hand out to Maria's back as she left. But the cord of the receiver that he was gripping stopped him, just like a chain. He readied himself. Batwer put the receiver to his ear. Who is this? Hello? Probably quote-unquote Beatrice, yep. Congratulations! And I'm fine! And you? Screwed up, mocking English filled his ears. It was the voice of a woman he didn't know. And now there's lyrics to this song? Huh? It's only slightly eerie. Who was it? The inside of his head was starting to freeze up. Who was it? What do you mean, who is it? Ushiromiya Battler? Normally you'd answer, yes, I'm fine, right? That takes me back. You do that one in middle school, right? The thing you do in pairs. You're insane. Who are you? Answer me. Say it in English. Isn't that your specialty? What? Don't fuck with me. I have the power of God and anime on my side. Who are you? An underling of that damn geezer? Underling is a mean way to say it, is it not? At least say prisoner. And Kinzo is my prisoner, right? That last laugh didn't sound like it was aimed at Batwer. It was almost as though Kinzo was right next to the phone, cackling as well. Say your name! Who are you? Who? Yep. Guess right, and you could win a free trip to Hawaii! Oh, great. Finally! Finally! It was so long. The days leading up to today were really long. I seriously waited 1,000 years for today. Get it? I owe it to you. My big resurrection. Thank you, Kinzo. Just for you, I'll lend an ear to that last. I'll take that move back of yours. This song is fucking freaking me out. My, aren't you getting a tad too excited? Couldn't you act a bit more ladylike? Kinzo and Beatrice sat facing each other over the chessboard on the reception table. There was expensive cheese and snacks to go with drinks, and there were several empty wine bottles lined up. What language is this song in? I can't tell whether it's English or Japanese or some other thing. It's probably something like Gaelic or Greek or something that I wouldn't recognize. As Beatrice rolled around on the sofa in an unseemly way, she happily held a wine glass in one hand and was probably completely drunk. In the best mood today, so here's a huge bonus for you. Hey, Kinzo, don't use Chateau Petrus as a decoration. It's from 1947, right? If you don't open it today, just when do you plan on opening it? Let's drown ourselves in it and play. Then let's whack each other with the empty bottles. How amusing. You're too excited. And you're letting loose too much. And what about you, Kinzo? Aren't you happy to be reunited with me? It's the living world. The earthly world. Long live my flesh. This is fucking crazy. What are you going on about? Are you saying that you're Beatrice or something? Yes, I am! Thanks to Kinzo's 13-person murder ceremony, I've finally been resurrected. It's nice having a mouth, it's nice having a tongue. How fun it is to be able to talk to you like this. Come to think of it, even though we slapped each other with abuse so many times over and over again, this is the first time we've had a conversation like this on the board during the game, isn't it? So this Beatrice is like the same thing as the Game Master Beatrice, or whatever you want to call her, the Beatrice fighting Battler. Oh, I scrolled. How very fresh! Oh, did you hear that pop sound just now? He opened it. He seriously opened that Chateau Petrus. Do you know how much a single bottle costs? Almost as much as a whole 10-kilogram ingot, you see. What the crap? Beatrice? The Golden Witch, you say? Give it a rest. Where are you? Is that damn geezer with you too? I'll beat the shit out of both of you. Where are you now? Answer me. Oh, so you want to meet me? It's tough being such a popular woman. But please, don't try to chat me up when Kinzo's around, okay? This guy gets seriously jealous, so he has a bad temper, you see? But when Kinzo isn't around and we're all alone, I'll love you all you want in secret, okay? You're insane. She sure is. Kinzo, I've changed my mind. I won't do Maria's test. You go. How fickle. So are you saying you'll do Battler's test? Nothing wrong with that, right? That guy's so much like a younger you that it makes my heart race. Really? Is Battler really that much like Kinzo? I mean, they both scream a lot, but that's about it. Don't worry. I won't cheat on you. This will be the only time I'll be alone with him. I'm always alone with you in bed, right? But no more tying me to the bed with a collar, okay? Yeah. Well then, Battler, I, the Golden Witch Beatrice, will be conducting your test myself. As for the place, yes, let's make it the front entrance to this mansion. Battler, make sure you try seriously hard in this test to become the successor, okay? I mean, Kinzo's practically dead on his feet. If you become his successor, you'll be the new owner of everything on this island. If it's you, I wouldn't mind becoming all yours, see? Rule over me just like Kinzo did, okay? Maniacal laughter is kinda fun, to be honest. An entrance to the mansion. Perfect. You drunk bastard. I'll sober you up. I'll fix that hangover with a burning punch. Prepare yourself. Batware impulsively slammed the receiver down. There was no need to talk through it anymore. I'll meet her face to face and settle this. Okay. Are we ever gonna see the actual dead bodies at all? I took the spear I'd made from the hat stand, and went outside without even an umbrella. It's hard to imagine that the young woman calling herself Beatrice is waiting for me alone. I should probably assume that, as Goda and the rest said, she'll be waiting with supporting troops. Going alone would be too reckless. No, she'll be by herself. Goda! Kumasawa! It's me, Batware! Oh, they're fucked, aren't they? I headed for the gardening storehouse first. I need all the help I can get. Goda is big, so I can probably count on him for some firepower. Kumasawa's knowledge and familiarity with the terrain as a senior servant might become a huge weapon. Both of them have master keys, and they know more about the mansion than I do. They'll be pretty reliable allies, if only they were alive, which they're probably not. As I banged on the shutter and called out for them to open it, I remembered that there was nothing they could do from the inside. I would have to get the key back from them before opening the door. I rounded the corner, knocked on the small latticed window there, and opened it. Goda! Kumasawa! It's Batware! Hey, come on! Get up! Hey! They're dead, aren't they? The scene in the shed, lit by a dim light bulb, was very strange. They're fucked. They're so fucked. Goda. Kumasawa. From a low ceiling beam hung two thick ropes. Ah, no! Are we getting more entries into the prestigious rope squad? And at the end, Goda and Kumasawa were hanging by their necks. Jesus Christ. Rosa never even died from one, and she entered the group. So now we have Kaede, Sayori, Rosa, Goda, and Kumasawa in this group. Jesus Christ, this whole group is just full of Umineko characters now. Are you kidding me? This is stupid. It's not our fault. I didn't kill myself, at least. That's a low blow. Oh, shit. Ah, that's charming. It was dim and cramped because of the various pieces of equipment strewn about, so I couldn't make out the situation clearly. How'd they die, though? Did they actually kill themselves? But when they showed not even a tremor after I called out to them, and because of the way the loops around their necks seemed to carry the full weight of their bodies, I could sense no trace of life from them. You've gotta be kidding me, right? Why? No, they don't count as dead. What the fuck? The shutter was still closed, and there was only a single key, which had supposedly been given to Goda. So how had the culprit opened the shutter and killed both of them inside? No, wait, they weren't necessarily killed. If this is a suicide, that way this closed room makes sense, but I don't know why they would hang themselves and commit suicide. Feebly, I slumped down on the spot. There's no way they actually committed suicide. Now, the only humans alive on this island are me, Maria, and that damn geezer. No, there's also that insane woman calling herself Beatrice. There's Maria, who had acted like the witch's ally from the beginning, and that geezer, the ringleader who revived the witch. Well, technically, I guess if Goda and Kumasawa were, accomplices, maybe they'd let the killer inside, and the killer killed them, and then somehow escaped the garden shed, keeping the shutter locked. Like, if it's someone tiny, maybe they'd fit through the latticed window, but yeah, I don't know how small it actually is. It might only be small enough for, like, Maria to get out of, or maybe someone slimmer, like Cannon or something, I don't know. And that geezer, the ringleader who revived the witch, and the witch herself. What the hell? By now, I might as well be the only one on this island. That ain't good. Using my pole as a cane, I feebly rose. Damn, I can't do it like this. I've got to avenge everyone. Damn it. It's useless this way. Oh, it's useless. It's all useless. Damn it! Might as well cry while I can, so that my frail emotions will be squeezed out with my tears. Can I not even trust that they're dead? Wait, seriously, no one's been discovered as a corpse. No one's turned red on the menu. Then I straightened up and gazed into the darkness in the direction of the mansion. At the entrance to the mansion, the witch is waiting. I'll go and settle this. I'll find the source of this weird, insane night and crush her with my own hands. This sucks. What's going on? As I throw my keyblade on the ground, what's going on? Amidst the pouring rain, I walk through the rose garden without an umbrella, letting myself get soaked. I could see the arbor on the other side. According to Jessica, it seemed that George had also been killed. Well, by this point, there's no need to worry about the lives of any hostages. I left the path, aiming for the arbor. Then, I saw George's weather-beaten corpse. Oh, there we go! George is the only dead person. Everyone else is alive. GG. Oh, shit. Ushiromiyas George. His corpse was found in the Rose Garden Arbor. There was a single hole right in the center of his forehead. It's probably reasonable to assume he was shot with a gun or something similar. It's a brand of humiliation, marking his defeat to Gap. Huh. That sucks. George. Damn. Oh shit, he has a CG too. The corpse was in front of the arbor. If he had died under the arbor, he might have at least been spared being beaten down upon by the rain. In George's forehead was a gaping hole, as though he'd been shot with a gun. Perhaps because the rain had washed everything away, his face wasn't covered with blood, so he looked almost like he was sleeping. However, his clothes were stained a deep red. No, they weren't. They're still green. And there were still signs that a large amount of blood had flowed out. It's probably other parts of his clothes, because I don't see any red except for on his forehead. How happy I'd be if he were sleeping, or else pretending to be dead. But even though the rain sprayed against George's eyes, they remained open. And the hole in his forehead was no joke, but absolutely real. There had been a faint chance that even Goda and Kumasawa hanging by their necks in the gardening shed had been them playing a bad joke. Oh, really? But that naive possibility had now been completely denied. And as I looked at this corpse, I became completely sure. Just as Goda had once said, the enemy had come to take lives like pieces on a chessboard. There's no mistake. Seems that old geezer and the witch really don't view our lives as anything more than that. That damn witch said something over the phone. Something about us being on the game board. Yeah. Perfect. I see. She thinks this is a game. And if you killed everyone like it was a game, it's okay if I kill you all like it's a game, right? Prepare yourself, Beatrice. I thought it was going to count Goda and Kumasawa dead at that point, but no. Or am I just... Nope. They're still, quote-unquote, alive. The lightning caused the mansion's vast shadow to rise up. Finally, the mansion. As the massive shape came into view, there was no silhouette of any person. It seemed that there weren't any underlings waiting for me in a pack or anything like that. Excuse me. According to Kyrie, there were massive amounts of attendants with goat heads. At least for now, I couldn't sense a large group of them hiding and staring at me. What's this? Beneath the roof of the entrance, there's something set down. What is this? A box? It looked like the kind of small box that girls often keep trinkets in. Or maybe it was the same kind of extravagant cigar case you'd find in a reception room. Either way, it didn't look like something that should be here. It clearly looked as though I was being told to open it. But for some reason, opening something being offered to me was irritating. However, it didn't look like we'd get anywhere if I didn't open it. Could it be that it's set up with some trap to make it explode when opened? Thinking things like that, forgetting even to come under the overhang, I continued to glare at the box, still beaten down upon by the rain. Then, mixed in with the thunder, was some kind of music? It sounded like that. It was the tone of the big clock in the hall announcing 2400. Oh, okay. It was also a sound announcing that this insane day, October 4th, had finally ended. And that the much more incredibly insane day of October 5th had begun. That sound quieted, and I could hear an eerie laugh coming out of nowhere. I got the feeling that the voice was coming from the heavens, and I looked up at the sky. Oh, what? What I saw there was a woman I'd never seen before. No, it's not true that I never saw her before. I saw her once today. Yes, in the portrait inside the mansion. The clothes were different, but that face was just like the witch of the portrait. Ah, who am I kidding? I already know who this person is. Oh, another different CG. Oh. What? Are you Beatrice? Yahoo! Battler! From the second floor balcony, leaning out under an umbrella and waving high-spiritedly, was without a doubt the witch of the portrait, Beatrice. Was the plan for the boss to take a bird's eye view and let the goat underlings torture me to death? I adjusted my grip on the spear, and imagining goats creeping out of the nearby shadows in the entrance and surrounding me, I raised my guard in all directions. Beatrice, there's no one here but you and me, see? No goat furniture, no demon butlers or teacher, not even the demon who's my close friend. And there's none of the gold butterflies that compose my flesh, no magic circles and no summoners as witnesses. Do you know what that means? No clue. Quit babbling. It is true that I have met you several times, even in this world. Almost as though we just missed each other. As you know, this world of humans is filled with a toxin, just by your existence and your doubting of me. Almost like solid ramparts strengthening the guard around you, the king. And through multiple games, I have advanced pieces one by one, split them apart, and cornered them, leveling your ramparts bit by bit. Then a faint crack finally opened, and I sent a bishop in, so that I could approach right up next to you. But as you know, bishops are pieces with blind spots. As long as you stay on the black squares, a bishop on black can wield a massive influence. But if you escape just one step to a white square, even if I close in right next to you, I will not be able to touch you. That is why I have progressed through this game by sending in various pieces to prevent you from staying on a white square, forcing you out in front of me, the one who controls the black squares next to you. However, there are now holes opened up all over your ramparts, and I was able to send in not a bishop, but a full queen. Do you know what kind of piece a queen is? A rook plus bishop. Okay, all I know about chess is pawns can only move like one space forward, left, or right, maybe 2 spaces. I think bishops can move in an X forward or, well, forward at least, and an X forward and left or forward and right. Rook, what's rook? Is that the castle tower looking thing? I think those things can only move left or right or forward in a straight line as far as they want, so queens can move like in a star shape? Is this what you're trying to say? Then now, you not only control the black squares that are part of the illusion of the witch, but have been able to eat into the white squares of the human world at will? That is correct! You have been calling the squares with the gold butterflies that are my minions the illusion of the witch, and you have denied them as unobserved unrealities, right? I know. For that very reason, I have openly descended to the white squares like this. Do not worry. I'll call plenty of gold butterflies and goats, demons and witches later. If you wish, I'll invite you to the Golden Land. There, any wish can be granted. It's starting to look like someone knocked an ink bottle over the chessboard of this island. I see. A pleasant phrasing. Soon you will be covered in ink as well. My jab will do 30% to you, and then I'll say, my inkling great, fam. You will finally become covered with pitch black, and will surely become a black king. You really are pitiful, drowning in a sea of ink right now, aren't you? No, that's wrong. You did not point at the screen. I'll admit that the island has been stained completely black from your ink bottle, but there's still a white square left. Huh? Where? Right under my feet. Your ink of magic tried to cover the entire island, but it can't cover the ground my feet are standing on. Even if this island seems to be stained pitch black at a glance, I am me. I'm here, stepping on a white square. Heh. It's strange. Until a second ago, I was shivering all over. But now that she's appeared openly right before my eyes like this, my terror is actually lessened. Interesting. Ghosts are most terrifying when you can only sense them. When you can see them and they have a face you can point your fist into, there's nothing scary about it. However, she definitely isn't an interesting or friendly person. She can kill me instantly by snapping her fingers while rolling around giggling. Whether we interpret the result of her snapping her fingers as magic flying at me, or underlings showing up to shoot me, it doesn't matter. Is she Thanos? She can just snap and I die? Anyway, whether this is fantasy or mystery, that queen is in a position where she can kill me by just snapping her fingers. I see. So does this mean she's the queen of this island, who reigns over both the white and black squares? Well then, it might be amusing to wait until you catch a cold in all that rain, but it's about time to move to the matter at hand. Can't you see the box down there? Your test is inside it. Wait. After all that's happened, I'm not interested in some stupid game about who will become the successor. My game is to take you and that damn geezer, and all of you guys who killed everyone, and smack them with a giant punch. One of those face crushers. Oh, so you will fly through the air up to my balcony? Very well, very well. Then look, come on right now. Here, here, up, up. Damn you, acting so carefree just because you're in a completely safe place. I'm coming over there right now, so prepare yourself and wait for me. Ah, no. The door is locked. Of course, the shutters are down for all the windows. My castle isn't so fragile that a single knight like you could break in. I tried opening the door to the entrance anyway, but it really was locked. When I looked around, I noticed that the shutters were closed on the windows after all. Normally, those wouldn't be closed. Huh. Looks like you've prepared for everything. Where's the key? Goda and Kumasawa probably had master keys, but they were in the closed room of the gardening shed. I can only give up for now. Shannon and Cannon. Their dead bodies are behind the mansion, aren't they? Damn. Guess she's no fool herself. Do you really want to be right beside me so much? Alright, if you impressively passed your test, why don't I grant you an audience? If you pass, then you become the successor and my new master. My flesh and soul will be yours to do with as you please. For I am no more than the Ushiromiyas family's furniture. What? Now you're calling yourself furniture. I don't get it. Well, it looks like you want to make me take this test no matter what. Okay, I'll give it a shot. If I pass, my first prize will be a punch to your face. Scary, scary. But it's not like I mind being controlled by violence, you see. Grab onto my head, make my fist twist in pain, tear me apart like a hawk does with its talons to its prey, scratch at me and trample upon me. Remind me of Kinzo in his younger days once more. That single time in my 1,000-year life. Remind me of that day I was being taught the joy of being controlled. Surrendering and being reduced to furniture. You damn drunk. We aren't getting anywhere. Ignoring the stupidly smiling witch, I picked up the box. Yes, open it. Inside is a letter. Read it. Is it the same thing? I opened it. There was a faint smell of cigarettes. Apparently, it really had originally been a cigar case, but there were no cigarettes or cigars inside. Just a letter. Instead, there was a western envelope with the one-winged eagle crest. And when I opened that too, there was a letter inside. Whoa! I looked up at the witch. She was grinning down at me. It seemed that she was looking forward to seeing what kind of reaction I'd have to the contents. Damn, just perfect. Its contents were something like this. Among the 3 mentioned below, in order to gain 2, sacrifice 1. Yep, go figure. 1, your life. 2, blank's life. 3, everyone else's lives. Blank? If you do not choose one, all of the above will be lost. What's this? Some pretty creepy stuff's written here. More importantly, the second one's blank, so I don't even know whose life it's supposed to be. Indeed. The second one is where you put the name of the one the test taker loves the most. For Jessica's test, it was Cannon's name, and for George's test, it was Shannon's. Since they had obvious feelings for certain people, those names were written in beforehand. But I don't know whom you have feelings for, so I didn't know whose name to write and left it blank. That's perfect. I love you, Beatrice. I'll stick your name in here. In that case, I'll choose the second choice. Happy now? Hey, quit joking. Quit joking. Hey, please, Battler. Tell me the name of the person you have feelings for. If you don't, then this won't be a test, right? Sorry, I don't have any girl in particular. Even if I did, why the hell would I tell you? In that case, this test will not work for you. What a shame, what a shame. I was really wondering what kind of woman was your cup of tea. What would you do if... Wait. What would you do if I said I like flat-chested lollies with long black hair? Mega mean? That wouldn't match you at all, right? Lies, you breast sommelier. Blonde and bouncy is best, right? Am I not truly the embodiment of your ideal? Wow, okay. If guessing your three... Wait. If guessing your 3 sizes is a test to become the successor, I'll take it gladly. Fucking. Ah, yes. This was the test to choose a successor, wasn't it? It was so fun chatting with you that I've been getting a bit off topic. Then let us begin the test. I will question you to see whether you are qualified to be the successor to the Ushiromiyas family headship. Answer with care. The witch who had been joking around like she was drunk until a second ago suddenly regained her dignity. Oh, dog bark. She looked as though she truly had stepped out of... Excuse me. She looked as though she truly had stepped out of that majestic portrait. Majestic portrait. Read words, Owen. Your sprite's a little cut off there, by the way. I am the Ushiromiyas family alchemist, the Golden Witch and the Endless Witch Beatrice. Do you have the qualifications to inherit the Ushiromiyas family and all of my gold? That is what I will test. State your name. Ushiromiyas Battler. When faced with a dignity you wouldn't have imagined from her appearance a short while ago, I answered without any hesitation. And from that, yes, I see. I can tell why she's worthy of calling herself the true queen of this island. Very well, Ushiromiyas Battler. However, for these 6 years, you have thrown away that Ushiromiyas name, have you not? Why was that? Because I ran out of love for that old bastard. I know. It was because you felt that your father's remarriage disgraced the death of your mother, whom you respected, yes? I see, you have no blood relation to your new mother whatsoever. It's not as though I can't understand why you'd be unable to accept that mother. However, no matter whom your father remarried, that wouldn't change the fact that his blood runs in your veins, correct? What are you trying to say? I can somewhat understand the childishness that led you to resist your father's remarriage, since you wanted him all to yourself. However, was throwing away the Ushiromiyas name as a means of resistance not a disgrace to your family and blood? You were born and raised Ushiromiyas, were you not? Do you think you had the right to forget that debt and throw away the Ushiromiyas name? Ushiromiyas, Ushiromiyas, Ushiromiyas! It's got nothing to do with you. This is between me and Dad. The Ushiromiyas name does not belong to you and your father alone. That was your childishness. Nothing more than your inability to forgive the fact that your father was stolen away by an unknown woman. Those 6 years during which you threw away the Ushiromiyas family register were a significant period during which you covered the Ushiromiyas family in mud. Know the depths of that sin. Well, sorry I'm so childish. However, even though it occurred around the time of the deaths of your grandparents, you did well return to the Ushiromiyas register. For that, let us give you a chance to purify that sin yourself. Now is the time to compensate for your sin of 6 years ago. Come, try to remember. Remember your own sin. Remember that, confess, and repent. That is the test I shall give you. So, really, all he has to do is say, I left the register, I'm sorry, I'm back now. Unless she means something else. What else would he have done, though? At that time, a massive thunderclap rang out, making my mind go blank. What do you mean, repent? Are you trying to tell me to apologize? The test has already begun. You may think as you wish. The witch's expression did not look like a person forcing a tough question on someone and sneering at them. She was asking seriously, and he could even sense a quiet determination. No, not now, Sans! Save it for when you're revealed in Smash Ultimate. Yeah, that's not happening. What a pipe dream. Adios, bitch. You still never beat me. Shh. I hate him. Even though the rain fell on Battler, he did not shift his eyes from that gaze. The witch threw her umbrella away. She abandoned herself to the falling rain, so that the rain would fall on her until Battler answered that question. She had chosen to let the rain fall on her as well until... Wait. She had chosen to let the rain fall on her as well until he reached an answer. For some reason, Battler understood that, and yet he didn't understand. Well, if you put it that way, I do think I was being childish. All things considered, even Dad getting remarried didn't cancel out the debt I owed him for raising me. I hear that Dad always kept on paying for my living expenses, and that he even said he wanted to participate in school events. The only reason he couldn't come was because I told Grandpa and Grandma not to let him come no matter what. Well, that's mean. It's true that I can't argue back if you want to call that my childish resistance. But you know, in that case, who would clear away Mom's, Ushiromiyas Asumu's regrets? Even though Mom was so devoted to our family and did the very best she could? Despite that, Dad was cheating with Kyrie. He even got her pregnant with Angie. And then, along with her birth, he rushed to move them into his register. If that wasn't a betrayal of Mom, then what was it? Who will clear up Mom's regrets? But what you're saying is also right. Even though the cheating was a fact, the debt I owed for being raised was real too. Wait, is this still Battler? But what you're saying is also right. Even though the cheating was a fact, the debt I owed for being raised was real too. In that case, they cancel each other out, so there's absolutely nothing wrong with me leaving the family, is there? That's right, I had the right. No, the duty to smack Dad in Mom's place, didn't I? But I didn't do that. I left without saying anything, as though I hadn't been there in the first place. And Dad forgot all about me and started a new family with Kyrie and Angie. Doesn't that settle everything? But since then, 6 years have passed. Time healed the anger. Kyrie understood my anger, and even so, she tried to interact with me, even if it meant tearing her heart apart. Angie didn't know anything about the situation, and even though I lived in a separate house, she was raised believing that I was her real big brother and loved me as if it were true. Dad casually said to come home anytime I wanted. Doesn't seem like they're bad, obviously. It started to feel more and more ridiculous. I thought it was about time for me to cool my head as well, so I said I'd put it all behind me as long as Dad apologized. Then came the day of Grandpa's funeral. Then he really did put his hands on the floor and apologize, looking unbelievably pathetic. Dad did that and seriously bowed his head to me, you see? When I saw that, it felt like it'd be stupid to keep it up any longer. I'm sure Mom thought the same thing. Every time Dad and I fought, Mom would always laugh and mediate for us. Oh, were you fighting over something that silly, is what she'd say. I could feel Mom saying that and laughing. So, though I couldn't actually say I'd forgive him, I thought it might be okay to start over again from square one. So I decided to wind everything back to how it was 6 years ago. Then I returned to the Ushiromiyas family register. I'd also cried, raged, and worried for a whole 6 years. It might have been the same for Dad, and for my dead Mom. Maybe even for Kyrie and Angie. So we went back to square one, and I returned to being Ushiromiyas Battler. That's my immediate family's problem, and has nothing to do with the Ushiromiyas family. You have no right to judge that as a sin, and I have no obligation to show repentance to you. If there was anyone I should have done that for, you've already killed them. So I won't apologize for anything. I won't repent. That's my answer for this test. There's probably something more to it that we don't know. Is that all? What? Part of me had fully responded to her provocation, and I'd supposedly vented out all the stuff I'd kept inside my chest. Stuff I hadn't wanted to show anyone. That was what the witch had supposedly been I'd been sure she'd start cackling and guffawing, sneering at my childish, foolish, and shameful past. But to the contrary, I could feel a sense of disgust about her. Something you could almost call disappointment. What do you mean, is that all? I've exposed everything about me, right? What more could you want? That still isn't enough to clear away your sins. Clear away? What the hell? Are you asking me to prostrate myself right here and apologize like Dad did? That's not it. I have no interest in matters concerning your immediate family or your home. Where are we? Rokenjima, the main residence of the Ushiromiya head family. Isn't there a sin you ought to remember, fitting for this place? So she was talking about something else. Are you saying that I have another sin? Remember, Ushiromiya Battler, not being able to remember that is your sin. For that reason I shall forgive you. If you can remember that, I shall forgive you. Remembering that is my test of atonement for you. Even if you tell me to remember. Oh, now we're womping again. Remember, that's what makes it a sin. Sorry, Beato, I have absolutely no memory of it. You make it sound like I caused you trouble 6 years ago or something, but I supposedly met you for the first time at this family conference. It's true that your legend also existed 6 years ago, but I shouldn't have been acquainted with you. Naturally. On the Rokenjima of 6 years ago, I had not yet materialized. Then what kind of sin are you saying I have? Are you saying I've sinned against you somehow? Don't make me say the same thing twice. I had not materialized 6 years ago. There was no way for me to become acquainted with you. In the world that you are, it was as though I didn't exist. Beato's cold eyes felt as though they were pursuing some kind of sin. At a glance, it felt as though she still hated me for something I'd done to her and that she blamed me for it. However, I naturally didn't have a clue and Beato had said it herself. 6 years ago, there was no link between us. Oh, red truth. 6 years ago, no person called Beatrice existed for me. At least give me a hint. Does this sin have anything to do with you and me? I had no connection to you 6 years ago. Remove me from your thoughts already! Why do you think it is a sin against me? Your eyes. My eyes? Oh. Because your eyes are whispering at me to apologize. But I had no connection with you 6 years ago. And it looks like you acknowledge that too. Is that true? Is it really not a problem between me and you? I already said it wasn't. No problem between me and you has anything to do with this. But still, your eyes are telling me differently. So I don't even have a clue. Can you say it in red? Can you proclaim that the sin you're telling me to remember isn't something between you and me? Very well. The sin I am now demanding that you remember is not between Ushiromiya Battler and Beatrice. Then why are you looking at me with those eyes? I don't know. I'm simply gazing at you blankly. If it feels that way to you, perhaps there's something making you feel that way. What kind of sin are you saying I have? Ushiromiya Battler has a sin. And I'm asking you what kind. I'll bet it's just some trivial sin, like hitting someone or tricking someone. Because of your sin, people die. Huh? What? Huh? Okay. Big what? Okay. Beatrice has to represent somebody, doesn't she? So something Batward did 6 years ago caused the murders of the game. What? Okay, let me get this straight. Batward did something that he does not remember, and it caused murders. Okay. Beatrice has blonde hair and blue eyes. Herbie Derby. Hi. But that would be too obvious, wouldn't it? They look way too similar. Not to mention, doesn't Beatrice have a tattoo on her leg? That does not match with Jessica. Natsuhi, I wouldn't be able to tell. Her eyes are the wrong color. But they're a similar shape, I guess. Eva, yeah, same shape again, but bigged out. I don't think Eva would be it. Kyrie, wrong shape, wrong color. I don't see how she could pass off her hair that way either. Maria was too young. She was 3 and her eyes are the wrong color and shape. Rosa, same shapes, wrong color, but she could probably pull off the style if she dyed her hair. Did color contacts exist in the 80s? Kumasawa is too old, and Shannon has nearly the same eye color, but the wrong shape. And she also has a tattoo on her leg. But is that the right? Which leg was it? I feel like it would be too obvious too, just being like, oh, she has the exact same hair and eye color, and she has the same tattoo. I feel like that's too obvious. It's probably someone like Natsuhi, someone directly connected with the mansion itself, who would get mad at Batware for something he did. But does this mean it's the same culprit throughout all of the games, or is there a different culprit based on what Batware did? Does Batware get mad at... No, does someone different get mad at Batware each game? I don't see how the events of each game would change that much, though. To the point where it could be a different person. Because with the first game, I thought it was Shannon. But I don't think she has a reason to be mad at Batware. And with the second game, Rosa. But I don't think she'd have a reason to be mad at Batware. And the third game, we already know Eva killed people, but literally why, aside from her finding the gold. And with this game, I haven't really suspected anybody, because everything's just been so crazy. But I will say Goda and Kumasawa are very suspicious as accomplices, rather than, killers. And then beyond that, I think Kyrie is super suspicious. Jessica is super suspicious. And beyond that, maybe Shannon again? But I don't think they'd repeat culprits, unless there's only one for each individual game. Because it was the same culprit every single time in Higurashi. Well, not the same person that killed everybody, but the same person causing all the problems, right? This is really, really confusing me. I don't get it. Liar! I've never killed anyone! Then say it. Who did I kill? When? Who? How? Due to your sin, a great many humans on this island die. No one escapes, all die. What? Then, with the third game, Eva escaped, but she still did eventually die. Does that include... What kind of incomprehensible thing are you saying? Are you saying I killed everyone? I'm a killer? It doesn't mean you carried that out directly. However, because you committed a sin from an imperfection in the cogs that stretched back a full 6 years, a distortion was created. And tonight, this many lives are lost. You are one of the causes of this tragedy. I don't get it. What did he do 6 years ago? What have they talked about that happened 6 years ago? Okay. He had no connection to Goda. Goda showed up after Batware stopped coming. I doubt it'd be Maria, since she was only 3 years old. I doubt it was anything he did to her. But it could have been something he did to her if Rosa was the one who got mad at him. But Rosa died first in the first game, second in the third game, and again first in this one. And then, who else did he have connections to? I mean, I guess he was close friends with Jessica, George, and Shannon. But did he do anything to them? I mean, oh, wait. Maybe... Wasn't it implied at one point that Batware used to like Shannon when he was younger? So maybe it got George really jealous and he is a... I don't know. Or maybe Shannon went all yandere for him. I don't fucking get it. I mean, it would explain why Batware survives the first, second, and I guess presumably fourth game before dying at the very end. But, okay, thing is, it doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, I guess Shannon could have faked her death the first game, but George is dead, for sure, and there's no way he killed anybody else here. There's no fucking way he killed anybody else except for, presumably, Jessica. But then how'd he die? Like, I suppose, technically possible, he killed Kraus, Nanjo, Kyrie, Shannon, and Cannon, but why would he kill Shannon? Why would he kill... Because the thing is, if all of the 4 games have the same culprit and accomplices, well, maybe not accomplices, but the same culprit for each of them, then why would Shannon couldn't, because she died on the first twilight of the 3rd game. Although it's technically possible, maybe, that she bullshit her way through the 2nd game to kill everyone, and in the 4th even. But there's no way she did it for the 3rd. Unless Eva killed her at the beginning. But no, Eva was at the conference when the first twilight happened. She had an alibi. So unless my theory about her working with George, but George wouldn't kill Shannon. That doesn't make sense. Unless she was Hideyoshi was there too, wasn't he? None of it makes sense. Okay, who else? Alright, let's go through. Does anyone have an opportunity to actually kill everybody throughout all the games? These 6, I can already say, big no. Big no. They died at the very beginning of the 2nd game. Kumasawa, big no. Goda, big no. Cannon, big no. Shannon, big no. Genji, big no. Let's see if I can turn these ones white. That's hard to do. Whatever. Kinzo, big no. Who else? So, not Kinzo. Oh my fucking god, I turned it to Japanese. Not Kinzo. Not Kraus. Not Eva. Not Rudolph. Not Kyrie. Not Hideyoshi. Not Natsuhi. Not Kinzo. Not Genji. Not Shannon. Not Cannon. Not Goda. Not Kumasawa. Who else? Could it not be? Likely not Jessica. She died on the 2nd twilight of the 2nd game. Although she did get to the 10th of the 1st and the 3rd. Extremely unlikely. Especially since Eva Beatrice said that she didn't kill anybody in the 3rd game, which she would have had to. Because Eva couldn't kill anybody during the conference. So, Nanjo, I'm pretty sure, is just an accomplice for every game, so I don't think it's him. But I do think he's a common accomplice for every game, except for maybe this one. Because I don't think anyone faked their deaths this time, which would also mean, if no one faked their deaths this time, the only people left are Rosa, which, big no, she died at the very beginning. George and Maria, so Maria's too young and she didn't remember Battler. So that leaves George, because he was 10th, then he was, like, the 5th Twilight or something, but that was after everything. So presumably he's the 2nd, and presumably he's the 1st, if he was working alongside someone who faked their death, like Shannon or someone. And then the 3rd game, when did he die in the 3rd game? Towards the very end, yeah. He was working alongside Eva. That's a theory that still hasn't been disproven. And then with this 4th game, it's technically possible. If there's one common culprit between all 4 games, I think it's George. Which is funny, because I only ever suspected him of ever committing murder against Nanjo in the 3rd game, and I guess But then why would he kill Shannon? It doesn't make sense, because given this theory, George had to have killed Shannon in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th games. He didn't have to have killed her in the 1st one, if I was right about her faking her death. But if he already killed her in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I guess it would make sense for him to kill her in the 1st, too. None of it makes sense. Not a damn lick of it makes sense. Quit messing around. I'm the cause? Then what? Are you saying 13 people died because I abandoned the Ushiromiya register 6 years ago? Are you saying that 13 people died because I came back to the Ushiromiya family after 6 years? Don't fuck with me. Give it a rest. For these 6 years, I've been the man farthest from the Ushiromiyas family, right? How could I have influenced anything in any way? It's not like I came to the family conference because I wanted to, right? I returned to my family after 6 years, so to make up for that lost time, I came to Rokkanjima reluctantly. It's not like I had some duty to come here today. I came back, and because of that, a massacre occurred? Then what? Are you saying that if I hadn't come back, no one would have had to die? Say it in red. Can you say in red that if I hadn't come back, this massacre crime wouldn't have occurred? There's no way you can say it, because you're the culprit for everything. Repeat it. If Ushiromiya Battler hadn't returned to Rokkanjima, this crime wouldn't have occurred. If you can say it, try saying it. Can't do it, can you? You can't say it. The culprit is you, not me. Don't try to rub that responsibility off onto me. Answer in red. Try to repeat it. You can't. My existence has nothing to do with the crime. Quit saying incomprehensible stuff and trying to confuse me. Big fuck. Big fuck. I just thought of a reason why George would kill Shannon. Because, as I was saying, I'm pretty sure it was implied that Battler liked Shannon, quote-unquote, 6 years ago. At some point. I remember something about, like, when they were on the beach and something, like, bad pickup lines or something, like something about a horse or something. And Battler apparently liked Shannon back then, and it's likely that Shannon might have liked him back then, and George can't forgive Shannon for that, because he's a mentally stable human being who's 5 years older than them, and if he's 23, then 6 years ago, he was 17, which 6 years ago, Shannon was 11. Oh, God! Oh, no. Oh, no, it's George. George, fucking George. I don't know the exact intricacies of everything, but he's the only person I can suspect throughout all 4 games if it's a common culprit. If it's not, then whoop-de-doo, George, you're probably off the hook, but holy shit. I began to remember the coldness of the raindrops that kept pounding down. The rain earlier had just hurt, but now I felt a tormenting cold from those raindrops. Is there nothing that you remember? Sorry, I don't even have a clue. Oh, she's upset. Hey, I'm starting to get a little pissed off. If there's something you want to say, then say it. If you have a grudge against me, you just have to say it out loud. Don't do it in such a dirty way, forcing me to remember. I'll ask one more time. Can you remember any sin? No! I can't remember anything! Uh-oh. So, he says that he can remember nothing. With this, are your regrets at an end? Indeed. What? Is she talking to somebody? Even a hopeless bet can leave behind regrets if you do not take it. That's enough. The betting itself has meaning. That may be true. In that case, this is the end of my regrets and my game. What will you do? Who knows? I'm not interested at all anymore. Sorry, but I wish to leave the game board now. Huh? Beatrice, no. I see. I understand. What? Huh? I will take over for the rest of the game. You may rest. Indeed. What is this? This is like Kermit and Evil Kermit. All that remains I will finish. You may forget everything and bury your head in your pillow. A feather futon should gently protect you from everything. Is this a different person? This Beatrice here? I'll be counting on you to finish up the rest. Leave it to me. Leave everything else to me and sleep. The witch who had questioned Battler hid herself, and the other witch who had appeared from behind remained. She certainly was identical, the same witch, but her expression was somehow indifferent and ice-cold, completely removed from the one who, despite seeming drunk up until then, had been in high spirits. Hey, are you listening? Isn't this enough for that test thing? I don't care whether I passed or failed. I won't be satisfied until I can bash your face. Come down here, or else open this door. The witch did not answer. Her eyes were as ice cold as Batwer's shoulders. She was now clearly a different person since the time she'd first appeared on that balcony. The witch gazed into my eyes and gave 2 small shakes of the head. Even without words, I was able to gather that she was expressing some kind of disappointment. Without saying anything, the witch turned on her heels. After that, only Batwer remained, the cold rain still beating down on him. The fuck? Opening a door? Okay, well this seems like a decent place to end. Wasn't like a full transition, but it seems like it's transitioning scenes quite enough to the point where I can just end. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. If you liked it, be sure to press the like button, and if you didn't like it, fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!